Webb Dubois of Massachusetts. After 3 years of no slavery, the smoking entered the world free. He developed an eye for education and was soon to conjure up a civil rights organization. At the early age of 15, he was hired to write for the New York Globe, was soon to be valedictorian, for he was no dope. After attending Fisk and then Harvard, Dubois was considered extremely honored for obtaining his MA in history and then following up with a PhD, but not before accepting Wilberforce's Classics Department chairman position, since he was top gun in his studies division. While on a journey to fulfill his civil rights vision, Dubois encountered a small collision. 'Twas a man who arose from poverty, who went by the name of Booker T. Though they both yearned for the same goal, their strategies were not the same at all. Instead of proposing for a black politician, cleanliness was Washington's ambition. Dubois saw this Hampton graduate as ineffective and used his Harvard degree to aid in his perspective. The battle was tied 1-1, and it seemed that they were both correct in the long run. 'Twas a fabulous wedding in 1896, many will agree, of gracious Gomer and well-mannered W.E.B. Soon after the marriage was made, Dubois wrote The Suppression of the African Slave Trade, then proceeded to edit for the Atlanta University Studies in respect for his African-American buddies. The Philadelphia Negro was published so true, and Dubois' political affiliation largely grew. 'Twas the smoking's greatest accomplishment of the night when he demanded for the black social and political rights. 'Twas coined the Niagara Movement because of the locational improvement. Old William Monroe Trotter was Dubois's partner, who helped establish this mighty current, for he did not want to be society's servant. Another battle of old rivals then sparked was an old goal that it embarked. Once again it was a tie, and would remain so even after they both died. Soon the novel of John Brown was laid upon the country of thee, and Dubois co-founded the NAACP, along with a combination so sterling of Henry Moskowitz, Oswald Villiard, Mary Ovington, and William Walling. Dubois' job was to write for the NAACP's The Crisis, which very hastily proved that blacks were not mindless. Dubois' first novel, The Quest of the Silver Fleas, showed deception, and how the young children escaped governmental interception. World War I was then sparked up in 1917 with an opportunity for the African American. Dubois urged for the blacks to help aid in the war. The power of the blacks he did not ignore. 'Twas the time that Dubois was getting old and had to tell a tale. 'Twas his life he wrote about in Voices from Within the Veil. He then published The Gift of the Black Folk, and Princess and Africa awoke. 'Twas the time to soon resign from the NAACP and return to the field of sociology, until he was once again too old, and had to return to his field of gold. Many works then came along. To write them all would take too long, but one thing is left to say. Webb Dubois joined the Communist Party of the USA. He then immigrated to Ghana, and was no longer seen by the Americana. He later died in 1963. The world was forever marked by old W.E.B.